The Gina and Matty podcast.
This weekend, there's plenty of action, plenty of stuff for you to do. Producer Loz did Central Coast Weekender earlier today, told you what's on and around the grounds. But if you have mini-humans in your life of a certain age, you know exactly what is happening on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. The 28-minute episode of Bluey is airing on ABC and ABC iView. It's called The Sign. It is going to be huge.
Bingo!
Normally the episodes are only about 7 minutes long. This 28-minute episode of Bluey is getting the whole preschool community talking.
I bet.
They are a buzz. Like, you give them a bit of red cordial and there's theories left, right and centre of what could be happening in this episode of Bluey. The last episode finished that dropped last week was called Ghost Basket. I watched that with my 3 kids. So I've got a 9-year-old Billy, I've got my 7-year-old son Ziggy and my 5-year-old daughter Stevie. We watched it all together and then I pressed record and we did a little bit of a debrief because at the final scene of that episode, their house is for sale. The Healer house that they've lived in since the inception of this show. There is a for sale sign. There are a lot of theories, but I thought I'd go straight to the source, my 3 kids, to see what they think it could mean.
Oh my gosh, guys, we've just finished watching what?
Bluey!
Yeah, the newest episode of Bluey. It's out now, Ghost Basket. That final scene. We are shook. There's a for sale sign out the front of the Healer house. We know on Sunday. What's happening on Sunday?
There's a 28-minute Bluey, and I think what's going to happen in it is it's their last video because it's the longest video ever.
Yeah.
And they're probably moving to a different house. And I have a second thing. Maybe Bluey and Bingo are getting older, so maybe they're getting another house to get bigger.
What, you think it could fast forward in time and we could see Bluey and Bingo as teenagers?
Yes.
What do you think's happening, Stevie?
Chili's pregnant.
You think Chili's pregnant?
Yeah.
There's another little Healer pup on the way.
Yeah.
That's why they need to sell the house, get a bigger one?
Yeah.
All right, Billy.
So I think, kind of like Ziggy, I think since it's a 28-minute episode, it might be the last one, which I'm very sad about. But they've been doing this since I was born, so they've been doing it for a really long time, and it takes so long to make one scene. So I think it's gonna be the last episode, and I think they're gonna move and then they're gonna move away from all their friends and everything. And then everyone's going to be really sad.
I really hope it's not the end of Bluey. I miss her so much. I have another thing. I think Peppa Pig and Bluey are going to get together and they're going to go on holidays together.
A bit like the Avengers, but like cartoons.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, what do you want to say?
Poop.
Good gear, Stevie, good gear.
Poop. All right, we had some good theories and then my 5-year-old just with some poo gear. Love it. Gina Jeffries, it's hard to avoid this news story today. Normally here I might do some news that Suze didn't use, but I'm going to do some news that Suze did use because it is the biggest news story of the day. Former NFL player O.J. Simpson and the man more famously acquitted of the murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman has died at the age of 76. If you are waking up now, it'll be all over the news all day today and tonight. He died in Las Vegas where he'd been battling prostate cancer. I remember it, but I was on the younger end, so I remember the news story, I remember the car chase, I remember the trial, but it's not until I got a little bit older that I did a little bit of my own sort of research into it that I discovered more and more, and then more recently there was the miniseries that had
I saw
David
the
Schwimmer
miniseries,
in it and stuff, the OJ trial. But it was the biggest thing.
Oh, it was massive news, wasn't it?
I think there was over 150 million people in the States tuned in to watch the trial alone. And it was around that time when 24-hour news television had only just started in the States. So it really changed the way that news was being covered, and it changed the way it was covered forever.
In the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty of the crime of murder.
Yeah, and It depends who you talk to, but it was pretty obvious that the guy did it.
Yeah.
In 2023, Simpson said on X, which we know as Twitter, that he'd been diagnosed with a type of cancer. In February this year, he said he was undergoing chemotherapy for prostate cancer. It's going to be interesting to see how the news plays out here today and in the States as it sort of flows on through and around the world, and how it's going to be reported on and how he's going to be remembered.
Yeah.
It was a real spectacle.
It really was, the car chase and I really enjoyed watching the miniseries, like you said.
Yeah.
Where you but you don't know how much of that's real.
No, that's right.
But honestly, it did seem like he did it, and so he got away with it because there was a mistrial kind of thing.
Yeah, the legal team just balls it up. Really, they put in some evidence, which was the glove, which is if it doesn't fit, you gotta quit.
That's
that was, I
right.
think that was the line, and obviously It's real messy, and but that was the way he got off, because they put this
about the glove
into evidence, and then he put it on in the courtroom, and because it's leather and it shrinks and stuff. Anyway, it didn't fit, so beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
You can't prove someone guilty. But the response so far in the States has been, so Goldman was O.J. Simpson's ex-wife's friend that also got killed. The family has said on Twitter, died without penance. Caitlyn Jenner has tweeted, good riddance, O.J. Simpson. So Caitlyn Jenner is the former Olympic athlete who was previously married to Kris Jenner, the ex-wife of a part of the legal team, Rob Kardashian. So he was one of the lawyers on the O.J. Simpson case.
Yeah.
So that's Caitlyn's come out and said her piece. And then also activist Charlotte Clymer, said, his murder trial marks a pivotal moment in the decline of American broadcast news. It accelerated our media environment and apologetic centering of flash over substance, spin over good faith, and provocation over consideration. It permanently damaged broadcast news in ways from which it has never recovered, nor have we, which is pretty strong. And then Guardian opinion columnist Moira Deegan, she wrote, domestic violence is a kind of small-scale terrorism. What O.J. Simpson did to Nicole Brown Simpson was not the event of one night. It was a years-long campaign that thousands of women suffer at the hands of other men. There's going to be a lot of commentary around this today. There's no lols in that at all, but that is the biggest news story of the day.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.